Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, and if you've been enjoying this Intro to SQL series, make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and follow me on Twitter and LinkedIn. But today we're going to be covering select insert into, or actually insert into select, and then two, create table as. So essentially the idea here is being able to use queries as part of other types of data manipulation and data creation activities. So either creating a new table from the result of a query or inserting into a table the result of another query. That's essentially what we're doing here. So here we have our sample code. Again, if you click in the video description on the link to this REPL, you will find that video in the insert, or this code in the insert into.sql file right there. Okay, so essentially what you see here is we're creating a table, okay, which is products. Okay, and we're going to see here, this table really is just going to be sort of the basis for us to do a create table as, and then an insert into. But essentially it's a table of products. We have an ID for each product. We have a name for each product. We have a price, which is going to be a decimal. Okay, and then we have a category, which is going to be a text field. So we're going to insert 5 different products into that products table. So we do that right here. Okay. Now here's where we see the first thing in action, okay, the create table as. And actually even before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out this query, and I'm going to comment out this query. So what we're doing is we're taking this products table and creating a new table called electronics. So that's what this create table is doing, but instead of actually like specifying, like over here when we created a table, we then went on to specify a query. Another way to create a table is to create a table from existing data. And that's what this as statement is doing. So when we say create table, the name of the table, then as, what follows the as is a query. And the result of that query becomes the initial state of the table. So in this case, it's saying, hey, select all from products, which is this table over here. That is electronics, okay, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. So there should be 3 records in that new table. Okay, so if I do select star from electronics. Okay, if I run that, I should get a table with 3 records in it. Okay, and we get exactly that. So we get the 3 records from over here. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Now, what if I want to add to that table? So I can see that I was able to create the table from the result of this query. So I just took the result and said, hey, create a new table that's the same as the result of this query. So create table as the results of this query. Now, what if I want to add more records to that table? Okay, so let me comment out this query right here. So in here, we can do an insert into. So we're doing an insert into, which is to insert records. Now, normally when we do insert into, we would do it like this, where we say insert into the table, and then we would use the value keyword to then list several rows that we want to insert and actually give you the raw data that we want to insert. But here we're doing insert into, and we're saying insert into select. So the idea is we're inserting into that table the results of this query. I mean, the schemas do have to match. So again, the assumption is that the table that you're selecting from, the result should match the table that you are inserting into, which in this case, we're just using that same product table. So in this case, we're just inserting any products that are also electronics with a price of greater than 500, okay, which would be only the laptop. So we'd be inserting another laptop. Okay, so if we run that, okay, and then we would query it. So again, basically the idea here is we're saying, hey, insert the records that match this query. So this query would run, and the results of that query then get inserted into this table. So if I run that, okay, stop. Let me just clear this out. Okay, we see that we have the original 3 that got added, and then we added the 2 that actually are above 500. I missed that the smartphone was above 500 as well. Okay, but you see we inserted those records again because that was the result of this query, and those records got inserted. And now where can this be useful? Well, oftentimes you may have, you know, let's say a running total data, let's say all sales. Okay, but then separately you track like that month's sales. So you might have a separate table of that month's sales. Okay, so then at the end of the month, what you may want to do is then add that month's worth of sales to your all sales table. So then you can just say, hey, insert into all sales as of select star from January 2024 sales. And then would add all those records so that we have that one big table with all the sales, and so forth. So, or maybe you have all sales and you want to create a table just of the January sales. So that way it's just, not such a big table to search through. You can just say create table as, say, hey, give all records as in that are in the scope of January 2024. So between January 1st and January 31st. And then you create a new table. Those are all possible reasons why you might do create table as. Or, you're just creating different versions of the same tables. There's all sorts of different reasons why you would want to use this. But the idea here is you're using the result of a query to either create a new table or to insert records into an existing table. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. My name is Alex Merced. Subscribe, like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, and again, you'll find that code in the insert into.sql. Just click the link in the video description.